I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Crunchy Pickle joins us. Hi!
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for coming on. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, my name is Pickle. I'm from Canada, and I am known to be very loud and obnoxious. That's the first thing that'll come up when you look me up in any sort of fashion. It's like, this person doesn't shut up. And why do they speak in caps lock?
That's good for interviews, though, because then it just keeps going, and I don't have to ask so many questions.
You have no idea. I could just go on, and I have. I think one time we talked on my stream, something to do with pepperoni, and I swear it turned into like an hour-long conversation. I don't know how we deviated. We started looking at different pizza places. We started ragging on Domino's. It just turned into this whole thing for a good hour. That's just what you expect. It works out because my whole theme is a fast food YouTuber, sir.
That's cool. But what is the big pizza place in Canada?
So I don't, you guys in the US probably don't have this, but it's a chain, but it's still really good, called Pizza Nova. It's very good. They make very good, fresh, like more Italian style pizzas. Oh. Very nice panzerottis. It's awesome. And we've had some US places like Papa John's come in.
Yeah.
But let's listen. As much as people may like Papa John's, whatever these places are, you can't hold a candle to Pizza Nova. So good.
So
it's a bit pricey, though.
It's another thing you guys are keeping from us, right?
just you know what? We've been trying to slowly give you guys things. Like, some of you guys have poutine. Some of you guys even have Tim Hortons. Now, I've gone down there, and I've tried some of your Canadian stuff, quote-unquote Canadian stuff, and it is not the same. I went to Tim Hortons across the border, and it was just Dunkin' Donuts. That's all it was. And I was like, this is like, you guys are giving us a bad name because we are not like that in Canada. I mean, it's a coffee shop, but it's not like this. Even the donuts themselves taste like Dunkin' Donuts versus you go to like Tim Hortons, even like an old-fashioned plain. It's so much better. So much better.
Yeah, well, it's closer to the original source, isn't it? Which the closer you get to it, the better it is. And
exactly.
Yeah. I just figure that Canada's still mad at us for having so much hockey and having a lot more hockey than there is in Canada.
Listen, I forget what year it was, but I will always rue the day. I always remember the day that the Flames got destroyed by the Avalanches. I was not happy. I'm not even from Alberta. I was not happy.
Yeah, but remember, they came from Atlanta first.
Look. Don't get me started with hockey, okay? Don't need no Yzerman coming at me.
That's right.
In my sleep.
No. I know better than to try to engage a Canadian in hockey conversation because I have no hope whatsoever. Pickles, when did you get started with VTubing?
So, yeah, that's an interesting question because I started with VTubing in about like 2020. I had my first V-Word model that I kind of started getting up in it. Yeah. And the reason I was doing that is because having some changes in life. Because I actually started streaming in 2017.
Yeah.
I used to be a face cam streamer for about 3 years before I started VTubing. So I made the switch, made a V-Word model because, things are going on.
Right.
And I took a little hiatus. And by little, I mean a few years, but, little. And then I came back last year with a new model, which is one I use now. So it's been kind of off and on.
Yeah. So you'd been streaming before, so it wasn't completely new to you or anything.
No, streaming isn't a new thing to me. It was just using a model instead of myself. Yeah. Because I used to, and Twitch deletes old clips, but I used to have some of my favorite clips were during my face cam days, where I had no idea. It was like my first time. I forget what game it was, but it was my first time playing it. I never played it again. I couldn't recognize who were my teammates and my allies, and I accidentally shot everyone on my team. and I just looked at the camera like, "Oops." I got log off.
and then they weren't asked back again.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
That was great. That was in my face. That was like 2018. Because I used to do a bunch of horror stuff, but then did multiplayer stuff as well.
mm-hmm.
So that was great. That was a good time. I missed that clip. I should have saved that clip. Stupid Twitch deleting old things.
You never know when you're going through an old computer or something and something pops up that you actually want to pop up instead of something you don't want popping up.
Oh, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. Life is a gamble.
Oh,
you never know.
That is for sure. Yeah, yep. You just keep rolling that dice and keep hoping you wake up the next day. How has it gone for you though since you come back as a VTuber? Were you able to pick up an audience quick?
I mean, I sort of picked up where I left off in a way.
Really?
Because when I streamed back in 2017, I made a Discord, and a lot of people who were watching me at the time, because I was on disability when I first started, because I just come out of the hospital from heart failure.
Oh.
I was at home and I was streaming during the day, so I had a big European audience.
Oh.
Now, even though I'm working and everything's fine now, and have my son and everything.
Right.
I still retain some of that because the Discord's been up for so long that people still come by. Now, I have new people who come by, absolutely. Right. Now, they have added on to my previous audience. Mm-hmm. So I noticed that the numbers are a lot bigger than what they used to be.
Yeah.
And which is great, but at the same time, I don't really care too much about numbers. Whenever I talk to people about that stuff, I was like, even if there's only one person watching and engaging, it's fine.
Yeah. You put on. I used to work with some folks who were professional wrestlers, and I did commentary for them, and they all had the same type of thing. Whether there's one person in the audience or 500 people in the audience, you still put on the best performance you can.
Exactly. Yeah. It's you. You're being you. You're entertaining, and the more yourself you are, I find the better it is. I know a lot of people put on characters, and that's totally fine. I get it. VTubing, lore, all that jazz, no problem. But at the same time, you gotta be yourself. Because the further you go on, and the more of yourself that comes out, that's different from what you came, people are gonna start, pointing fingers.
Yeah. Now, and just taking the devil's advocate here, what if you put a lot of yourself into it, and then people start throwing stones at you that are particularly hurtful?
Well, the thing is, you're never going to avoid hurtful people.
Well,
there's always going to be at least one person. Now, if you're being yourself and that sort of vibe comes in, then you know what? It doesn't hurt to, take a break, to reinvent things, change things. Because, it could just similarly be the content you're playing, right? Although maybe it's an outlook on life. I know there's some, not VTubers, but some streamers who have complained because they do get some negative people. Yeah. Then I watch their streams with only like 1 or 2 viewers, and the entire time they're being the most depressing person I've ever seen. So it's like, well, that's why you're getting hated on. You're making everyone feel like crap.
Doesn't anyone want to come hear me complain for 2 hours?
So just try your best to be yourself. It's not going to work instantly. You're probably going to get some people rag on you. There's always trolls. But again, as someone who's been doing this for 7 years now, it really does pay off. It does.
Yeah.
It may not take a week or a month or 3 months or whatever. It does pay off eventually.
I think as in any type of performance field, I call this a field for lack of a better term. Because when I was in radio for all that time, I won't say that I was the best out there, but I wasn't the worst. And I would get, hey, you were fine, and then you get 16 people on the internet telling you that your voice is the worst thing they've ever heard. Sometimes the people who make the negative comments are just the ones with the loudest voices.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean that they represent everybody that's out there. And I hope that folks who have been through the wars on here realize that. There are a lot of people that enjoy it. I mean, it could be, you could have 500 people on and 499 like you, and one complete jagbag doesn't like it. And
exactly, I actually had that situation recently.
Yeah, and then you banned me, and I don't know why you did that. I didn't want to say anything bad.
I don't ban people. It's funny enough, I actually don't ban people. Even if people criticize me, I take it on the chin. I'm like, yeah, cool, all right.
Well,
the other day, because I have a bunch of people who support me on the streams,
right?
But then the other day, I had a comment on one of my shorts, like, what is this awful cringy thing I've ever seen in my life? You know what I did?
What?
I favorited that comment. I have to put it right at the top.
Yep. That makes them so mad sometimes. Like, what? No, I don't want approval. I want to make my own.
It was great. It's fine for me.
I mean, when people, sometimes I shake my head because people take so much effort to do that.
Yeah,
they just not watch.
Yeah, you could just not watch.
Yeah, 2,500 people like this. I hate it. I'm going to write some bad words, so it's gonna make it. That'll solve all the problems.
Oh, you can't do that with me. You can't do that. You tell something bad with me. One time, someone actually called me a bully because they didn't like my minor criticism. I ran with that for like weeks. Every time that person maybe like watch anything, they would hear me make the same joke. Be like, "Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a bully. Don't listen to me."
And
then I just, I just start memeing around.
I don't like it, but then I'm a bully. What do I know? I'm just like pushing people around. It's
exactly. You got to roll with the punches.
Well, when you got restarted, I should say, were you doing the same type of games, the same type of content that you were before?
Oh, absolutely. The only thing that changed was face camming to VTubing. Otherwise, I'm doing the exact same content. I really enjoy Resident Evil style games, so I'm playing a lot of Resident Evil and other style survival horror games. The content hasn't changed. So it's just me. It's me being insane, which is, normal. A lot of people are like, "Oh, why are you trying too hard?" And then they meet me in like a VC. They're like, "Oh, this is just you. You're just insane." Oh, I'm like, all right, cool. So the content hasn't changed.
That's the thing. People may say, "Oh, you're actually toning it down." Oh, I didn't realize that.
I am on stream. I am toning it down. That's the thing. They were like, "You're trying so hard." I'm like, "You have no idea. Get me off of stream in a VC."
I was trying. You're trying so hard to not go fully bananas on stream.
Yeah, you know how many times on stream I'm like, I'm not going to say that. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I probably shouldn't do that.
Oh, don't tell me.
I do that all the time.
Don't tell me you developed a filter.
Well, I have to. I have to develop a filter because sometimes I get like too unhinged. Not in like not like disrespectful or offensive. I just go on like stupid tangents. And it's like I've had people in like personal VCs be like, "Pickle, shut up." Like, what are you going on about? I'm like, I don't know. We're playing this game, we're playing Helldivers, and I'm talking about the bike's home and you know how they're getting pregnant and all that. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're going too far into it. I'm like, all right, stop. I'll stop.
Wait, you told me about the time earlier where you shot everybody, but you don't do that in Helldivers. You don't shoot your own teammates.
Oh, I do that all the time. My favorite thing to do is to always, especially if I'm doing a collab.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a collaboration with someone or playing Helldivers, I always try to convince everyone to put on Helldivers difficulty. Then what I'll do is I'll get the stalwart, the machine gun, and just like from a distance.
Sorry.
I am not a team player. I was playing Resident Evil 5 with one of my friends on stream, Grims.
Yeah.
And the entire time, I was making his life miserable. When I would play Lethal Company with like a group of people, I always try to kill one time, and I did it. I was the only survivor, and I was so happy. I managed to kill people with the bees as well as the eyeless dog.
How did you do
Because,
that?
everyone's like, oh, you got to be quiet, you got to be quiet. So I stand on top of the ship. Hey, over! Goes right in the ship, eats everybody.
I've seen people do that with that giant worm thing.
Yeah, the worm is fun.
And it slides into the ship and kills somebody while you're hiding in the back. And I'm like, that's.
I was really mean to somebody who's new to the game.
Yeah.
So they had no idea that the stormy weather, the thunderstorms, attracted metal. So when they were leaving, I did, hey, take the sheet of metal. Like, oh, okay. It just I watched them get absolutely annihilated on the bridge. It was the most hilarious thing. You can't play team games with me. I don't. I'm.
That's hilarious. Well, that's just one of the reasons why you have to watch what Pickle's got going on. We're going to have the links in the description for the interview. Now, has there been something that you've wanted to put on the channel, either game or different type of streaming, that you haven't done yet?
I think the only thing I can think of is just like I really like my model, but I just want to have my model be able to do more because I talk with my hands all the time, so I would love to have like hand tracking, so you guys can see how I flail my arms all around.
Well, if you're a bartender, you need to have the hands going.
Exactly, and that's the thing because that's really the only thing I think of because a lot of the stuff that I want to do, I just do. People have already seen my face even back in the day with face camming, so a lot of the times I'll even do like IRL streams where I'm doing bartending. Like I got a cocktail stream tonight where I'm making drinks on camera.
Oh my!
We went camping, so like chat was helping me make a fire because I've never made a fire myself.
I could do that. Just ask me to cook water.
just cook exactly. Just what's that meme? Oh, I put the cold water in the pot because I thought it would boil faster.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work. You put the fire in the pot and then pour the water on it.
Yeah, exactly. And like another time I did an IRL stream where I just walked around Toronto and we went to a poutine place and I just stuffed my face with poutine. Like I am not afraid to show my face and do all this stuff because a lot of times when I think of something, I just sort of do it.
Yeah.
I'm at this point in my life where I'm just living. I'm living a little. I'm not really too concerned. If people don't like the content, they don't have to like the content. It's just me being me. If you don't want to see me go into the hospital and get kicked out by security, then that's fine. By the way, that happened.
You were trying to tape inside the hospital? You're trying to
So back years ago, I used to have cancer, so I stayed at Sick Kids for a few years.
Right.
So when we went toured around Toronto, I went back into Sick Kids, and I got stopped by security. He escorted me out. Like, all right, fine. I just want to see the place. I haven't been here in years. Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah, no, out. We're done with you. Don't come back.
I'm not like one of those cringy IRL dude. Like I'm not gonna disrespect people or anything like that. You know what I mean?
No. But you've been through some things. Let's face it. You've been through some things, and from what I've seen, you're not going to disrespect people who've been through things either.
No, I think it's important that we all respect each other. We all hear each other out. I'm very much, it's a funny thing with even on my streams with people who maybe don't like my lifestyle. I always be like, you know what? I'm not going to ban them because, let's hear them out. We got to hear people. We got to talk to people. We can't solve problems if you just cut people out. We got to talk to people.
Yeah. So. And you're not going to change anybody's minds unless somebody talks to them.
Exactly. Like I've talked to people who don't like my lifestyle, the whole like pride thing and everything like that. And I've literally sat down on a VC and told them, like, ask me whatever. I was like, yeah, weren't you going to get offended? No. You were talking to the one person who is high into this, who is not going to get offended. You ask me anything, I'll answer.
Yeah. And unfortunately, and I'm going to throw my generation under the bus because I've done it so many times. They've thrown me under the bus. It's their turn. Folks my age, I'm almost 60 now, and folks my age have found it a very tough go. Even those of us who are trying to do it correctly don't always do that we default to old pronouns and trying to gender things. It's not easy.
Oh, it's not.
And I'm not trying to offend anybody. I hate doing that. I hate offending people, and I want to I want to do it right. But there's going to be times when I just do it wrong because I'm just talking to somebody and I go to default. But
that's fine. It happens.
The difference to me is don't do it on purpose.
Yeah, you're gonna get those people. You're always gonna get, like I said earlier, you're always gonna get that one person. You're never gonna change anybody. Well, just live a little.
Yeah, they need to. But I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. They're not hurting you, so why are you bothering them? Exactly, the whole thing. But I'm very much an open person. I always have a conversation regardless of what the person's opinions are because I'm very much an advocate. So how are we going to solve anything if we don't actually talk to each other? So that's actually why I don't ban people some people may be as offensive. It's like, let me talk to them. If they're genuine, like whatever, then sure. But like maybe they just don't understand.
Sometimes
can't hurt to talk to them.
Sometimes they don't really want that attention.
Yeah.
It's like, you called me out. I'm going to leave. Bye.
Yeah. I don't like people who do that. Regardless of what side of whatever fence you're on, I don't like people who do that. It's like, bruh, sit down, talk. What are you doing?
Have some Tim Hortons. Come on, sit down.
Yeah, have some Tim Hortons. Have a cup of coffee. Oh, get some za.
Oh my gosh, it is an absolute pleasure talking with you, and I knew it would be because I watched the streams before. What is your biggest goal with the channel right now? I mean, you've got a lot of things. You say you're sitting back and living, but you've had a lot of things go on in your life. You got a lot of things going on right now, and you're parenting, and you're doing some other things. What do you want to do with it?
I mean, I don't really know. I'm kind of just enjoying the ride. I mean, quite honest. I know a lot of people, they have goals to become big or famous or whatever. I'm just sort of, I'm enjoying myself. The reason why I did this initially is because, like, again, I was on disability. So I was stuck at home. I couldn't move because of my heart condition. And I'm a very social person. I'm very extroverted. So I got into this to sort of meet people. And that hasn't changed. Even if I stay stagnant at like the viewers I have, as long as I get to meet people, interact, just hang out, make new friends. I mean, that's why I'm going to TwitchCon, because people are like, oh, you go to TwitchCon. I mean, no, I don't care about the connections. I want to meet some of these people that I've been talking to face to face. I want to take them to a karaoke bar. I want to tell them why Arby's is better than whatever fast food chain you really enjoy. Yeah. I like socializing. That's just the person I am. And that's probably how I'll keep going. Just meeting new people and just talking. I like to talk.
I like Arby's too.
I don't know how many times I said that. See, I'm a broken record.
Yeah, I like Arby's too.
See? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. We have one more for the Arby's team.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, can I just real quick? There's a big streamer named Alar, and she absolutely hates Arby's. Yeah. I managed, after 42 days of annoying her on Twitter, 42 days consecutively, because I'm relentless, consecutively, each reply posting pictures of Arby's and everything, and some subs later, because she said she wanted 50 subs as well. But I just kept annoying the crap out of her for 42 days. She finally caved. She finally ordered, because I gave her a very specific order, and you know what? She gave it a 7 out of 10. I can change anybody's opinion about Arby's, because I guarantee there's something there that you'll like.
If you can change the opinion of the elf with the shelf, then you've got it going.
Exactly. You see? Perseverance.
Yes.
Resilience.
And stubbornness.
You better believe it.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, and it's gone by really fast, and we're gonna have to do it again soon, okay?
Yeah, honestly, whenever you like. I am always game. This is a simple interview, because listen to me. Listen. When it comes to like live interviews, because it's good this is recorded. When it comes to live interviews, I am the worst. You see, when it comes to interviews, I take a lot of my inspiration for live interviews from Eric Andre.
Mm.
Have you watched Eric Andre before?
I have not. I've heard the name though.
Oh man, you should watch some Eric Andre interviews.
Mm.
I take a lot of inspiration. I literally flip the script on like live interviews because it's so much fun because it's live, so everyone can see them like choke.
Oh yeah, there's nothing us hosts can do at that point. We're just like, okay, we still got 20 minutes, and we're gonna have to do this.
Yeah, that's right.
No, going to the commercial now. We're going to keep doing it. Our eyes get big, and then we're in big trouble. But see, this is, what I do isn't really interview. We just talk, and
yeah, I mean that's what an interview is. It's talking, getting to know people. You do a good job.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot, actually. And we have fun. So let's have fun again soon, okay?
Yeah, you call me. Let me know. I'm ready.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.